Hi, I'm Sarah and welcome to your yoga class with me today. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. And when you finish this wonderful yoga class, please do leave me the thumbs up. And if you've got any questions or comments, please do type them in the comments box below. And do consider becoming a patron too, please. From only $3 a month, I can give you so much more support. We've got all sorts of benefits there on patreon.com. Have a look at the link below. On with the class. Now, you're going to need some kind of strap or belt today. If you happen to have a yoga belt that has D-rings, I want you please to make a little loop in it now. If you don't have one of these, it's fine. You can just use a dressing gown cord or any belt. A belt with a little bit of toughness, like a leather belt, would be useful. And double back if you happen to have one of these with D-rings so that you can make a loop about that big. Then put it down. You don't need it for the moment. And come up to standing. We're going to begin our sequence today, which is very much focused on one pose, standing up. Bring your feet together and come into mountain pose. Now squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other on your upper back and lift your heart. Coming into a standing thigh stretch, bend your right leg. Now point the toes like a ballet dancer. Kick your leg back. Reach down with your right hand and grab the front of your ankle. Then trying to laser point the kneecap straight down, bring the knee back a little bit so that you're coming into a balanced one-legged thigh stretch. Now, think about your back foot here, your right foot, and change it so that you're then showing the sole of your foot more towards the back of the room. You're pointing the foot rather than pointing it. And then maybe you can bring that knee back a little bit more and try and have this right hip point facing straight ahead. Lift your heart, balance here for a couple more breaths. Then keeping the foot high, keep the knee joint closed and take your right hand away. Then bring your foot down. Let's do the other side. Left leg, start with the foot pointed. Try and have the knee pointing straight down. Then when you feel like you're ready, bring the knee back a little bit more. So you do more of a stretch along the front of that left leg. Push the hip point forward. And then again, point the foot. Push the heel away from you. And then have the tips of the toes pointing straight down. Kick the leg back a little bit more. Keep the foot high. Take your hand away. Keep really bending the knee joint. Then bring your foot down. Now go to the back of your mat and look down the runway of your mat to the short edge. Bring your hands down by your sides. Then pick up your right leg, bring the knee high, bend the left knee, and then step your right foot forward and bring your back knee, your left knee, down to the floor. Move your arms forward and up, so coming to Untitled. Reach your arms up high, raise your chin, lift your heart. Now squeeze your bottom here so you get lots of stability. Then bring your hands down either side of your front foot. Stay here and see if you can bring your back knee and your back foot back a little bit more. So pick up that back knee, move it back just a touch, maybe 3 or 4 millimeters. Maybe you do that again and then squeeze in the right buttock. Then again, bring your arms all the way up. Squeeze your bottom here. Keep your arms up overhead like this, or to take things a little bit further if you want to, grab your left wrist and lean over to the right. So really stretching and lengthening the fronts of the legs at the beginning of this mini sequence as we lead up to Natarajasana, or baby dancer, not the full dancer pose. We're going to come into a lovely balancing back bend soon. Pick up your back knee. And then step your left foot forward. Once it's forward and your feet are hip width apart at the top of your mat, raise your chest, look up. And as you exhale, fold. Now come into downward facing dog. Flatten your hands, walk your feet back. Then walk your hands towards the back of the mat. As soon as you get here, bend your knees. Sweep your arms forward, bring your arms up overhead. Look at your hands and then bring them together. Then separate your hands, look forwards and bring your hands down by your sides. Bring your feet together, pick up your left knee, bend the right leg, so you've got some spring action there, and step the left foot forward. Bring your back knee down when you're ready. Sweep your arms forward and up, back to Anjaneyasana. Reach up, stretch up. Then bring your hands down to either side of that left foot. And again, we're going to play around with bringing the back knee and the back foot back a little bit more, increasing the lengthening in the front of that back leg. Squeeze your bottom. And when you're ready, bring your arms back up overhead again. Stay with this, or grab your right wrist and lean over to the left. Keep your heart lifted, keep pressing your feet down, even though it's just the back toes tucked under with the back foot. Push that down firmly. Inhale, come all the way up, touch down, and step forwards. Inhale, raise your chest, look up, and as you exhale, fold. Now bring your hands to either sides of your feet and walk back to downward facing dog. Then come forward into plank. Bring your knees down to the floor. Come all the way down to the floor. Then curl up into cobra. Press your hands back. Lift your heart. Now come halfway down and bend both of your knees. Point your feet, show the soles of your feet to the ceiling, and squeeze your legs towards each other as if there were a block in between your knees and you were trying to press into the block. Now you can keep your hands on the floor here, especially if you're finding this a little tough going, or pick up your hands and move your hands towards your feet. Then, possibly, again, taking it further, pick up your legs, pick up your thighs, bend your knees more so that you can reach around with your hands and grab the fronts of your ankles, and then push your feet to the back of the room and squeeze your knees again in towards that imaginary block. Lift your heart, squeeze your shoulder blades actively towards each other on your upper back, and push your feet back that little bit more. Dhanurasana, bow pose. Now release your hands, bring your hands by the sides of your ribs, push up to hands and knees. Tuck your toes under and go back to downward facing dog. And then walk your hands back towards your feet. Bend your knees, sweep your arms forward. Come up to standing with your arms overhead. And then bring your hands down by your sides. Now get your strap. And if you have a strap with a loop in it, I want you to hold it so that the loop is down. If you don't have a strap with a loop in it, then fold your strap in half so that you are making a loop at the bottom there. Now, bring the strap behind you on the right side of your body, pick up your right leg, point the foot, then thread the needle of your foot through. It's like the foot is the thread and you're making your hole with the belt like the needle. Slide your right hand down a little bit more and then stand up nice and straight. Now bend the knee actively and then point the foot. Then slide your hand up the strap and like you're putting on a rucksack, bring your elbow up towards the ceiling. Now if you want to here, if you're feeling really wobbly, you can move and bring your hand onto a wall, your left hand onto a wall. Raise your chest and then kick your foot back and possibly walk your hand down a little bit more and bring your forearm into the side of your head. Raise your chest, open your throat, kick back maybe that little bit more and squeeze the standing leg nice and straight and strong. 3, 2, 1. Now take off the backpack, unthread the needle and place your foot down. Now, if you needed the wall last time, you'll probably need it this time. So change your orientation in the room so that your right hand can hold onto a wall and bring your feet together. Bring the strap in your left hand slightly behind you. Pick up your left leg, kick the foot back into the loop. Be careful here. Then really bending the knee, bring the foot high, put on the backpack, and then kick the foot back. See if you can bring the arm to the side of your head and kick the foot back more as you press your tailbone down. Squeeze your right leg and your right buttock in really firmly. 3, 2, 1. Now slowly kick the knee forwards, take off the backpack, unthread the needle and place your foot down. And then just fold the strap up reasonably neatly, put it on the side of the mat and come into downward facing dog. Just step 1 foot forward, place your hands well, so your fingers are evenly separated, and push back. So you're lengthening the back body again. Now come forward into plank. Bring your knees down to the floor, come all the way down and come onto your left forearm so that your left elbow is underneath your left shoulder, maybe slightly forward or back, but not over to the left or the right. Then bend your right leg, point the foot, pick up your right hand with the thumb down, reach around for the front of the ankle and raise your chest. Then kick your foot back into your hand to help raise your chest that little bit more. Turn the right ribs forward. And then that straight left leg, squeeze it really straight and press your toenails down. Now lift your heart and draw your navel in so your abdominal muscles do stay somewhat engaged. Try and breathe steadily here. And then change sides. Release that foot. Bring your right forearm down, flatten the hand. Bend the left leg, separate your toes. Left hand comes around. Show the sole of that foot to the ceiling and kick the foot back. Raise your heart. And you might even find you can lighten that thigh a little bit off the floor. And squeeze the right straight leg down into the floor. 3, even press your knees a bit more towards each other. Try and move that left knee more towards the right. 2, so it doesn't wing out to the left. 1. Release that left leg, come back to downward facing dog. Bring your hands by the sides of your ribs, push back, lengthen your spine, really push your tailbone away from your fingertips. And then walk your hands back towards your feet, bend your knee, sweep your arms forward, come all the way up. Bring your hands down by your sides. So second, final time that we have a look at Natarajasana. Put the strap into your right hand. This is a pose that is named after when Shiva went into the forest to dance with Kali, he became Nataraja. Look it up on Google, it's a wonderful story. They dance an ecstatic, frenzied dance competition together to see who is the most powerful. Bring the strap back. Natarajasana is named after him, Lord of the Dancers. Pick up the right leg, thread the foot with the pointed toe as best you can. Sometimes you need to bring the foot down to help you do it. And then kick the leg back and bring your foot up high. Put on your backpack. You've got the wall there if you need to with your left hand. Now, you can stay with this with your hand on the wall or take your hand off the wall. You can stay with that or with your left hand, turn the palm up, bend that left elbow and put your hand onto the strap or onto your right hand. Now, if you feel really wobbly here, drop the strap. Or if things are going okay, walk your hands down the strap possibly a bit more and kick your pointed foot, so show the sole of the foot to the ceiling, separate the toes back behind you. And then use your hands to lift that foot up maybe a little bit higher. Don't wing the knee out to the side. Make sure that your right knee is moving towards the left. 3, 2, lift your heart. 1. If your left hand is on the strap, take it away. Slide your right hand up the strap so you can move the knee forward. Take off the backpack, unthread the needle. Do try and come out of the pose as slowly and with the same consideration that you put in when you were coming into the pose. Okay, I know, easier said than done. Put the strap into your left hand. Move the strap back, left side, second side, final side. Put the thread of your foot into the needle of the strap. And then put on your backpack. Make sure the left knee is pointing down. Use the wall if you need to with your right hand. And then kick the foot up, move the knee back, make sure it's laser pointing straight down, and then possibly the right hand can have some freedom and maybe even the freedom to hold on to the strap. Squeeze your standing leg, your right leg really strong and kick the left foot back, raise your heart, squeeze your arms towards the sides of your head And again, move that left knee over towards the right. Try not to wing it out to the side. 3, 2, 1. Take your right hand away. Slowly does it. Take off the backpack, unthread the needle, and then fold the strap a couple of times. Come into downward facing dog. Step the other foot forward first, then bring your hands down. We do have a habit of leading with one foot. Try and change these habits so that your body doesn't get too used to or bulking up or adhering too much on one side. Then bring your knees down to the floor. Bring your big toes together to touch side by side. Sit onto your heels. Moving a little bit more deeply into that concept, bring your forehead to the floor, come into child's pose. Of not always leading with one leg. Do try and, even when you get dressed, put the other leg in first when you're putting on your trousers. Open doors with the other hand, the non-dominant hand. Try and mix up your habits so that your body becomes more balanced. And not just your body, your brain as well. The left side, the right side. Stretch out here in child's pose for a couple more breaths. Then raise your head and lie down on your back. Before we come to Shavasana, we're going to do Eye of the Needle. Right side, pick up the right leg. Now you can keep the left foot on the floor as you come into this shape, the Sukhi Randrasana shape. Or pick your left leg up and interlace your hands behind the back of that left thigh, possibly around the front of the shin, but make sure that that's still comfortable for you. You're not reaching too much with your arms. Separate your right toes and push the right knee with the strength of your right leg away from you. Hopefully by now your heart rate, your breathing rate is coming back to its normal resting rate. Doing backbends is very stimulating. It gets the body pumping. It gets the heart acting and having to work a little harder. So try and recover, change sides in a more helpful way, using your breath to breathe smooth, calm and even inhalations and exhalations. If you didn't change sides, make sure you have done. So now you're doing Eye of the Needle on the left side. Try and lie evenly on the left and right sides of your back. And as you even that out, notice that when you inhale, the breath pushes into the back of the lungs. And you might even feel your upper back and mid back pressing down a little more into the floor as you inhale. Notice these tiny details. Then release your hands if they are behind the right leg. Bring your right foot, then your left foot down. Lengthen your left leg to the left corner of your mat and then the right. I'm going to do a 1 minute Shavasana here. Stay with me. Press your elbows down to move your shoulder blades towards each other and then soften your entire body. Hands, feet, arms, legs. Your chest, your back. All the abdominal area, your lower back, all around your pelvis, your face, even your brain relaxing back into your head that little bit more. The dance is done. It's time to rest. Now please bend your knees one by one. You can stay here, resting in Shavasana, so you can reach around and press the pause button. Stay as long as you need. or roll over onto your right side and pause here for a moment. Keep your eyes closed. Notice how your body feels here. Notice how the front body compares to the back body, the energy, the movement of the prana, the front and the back. And press down one hand and then the next to come up to sit, and sit tall. As you sit cross-legged, you might want to put something underneath your bottom here to help you sit a little higher and with a bit more comfort. Close your eyes and bring your hands into your heart. Gently press your feet down and give a little squeeze to both of your knees. Keep that. And then lower your chin. Now release your hands and place your palms onto your legs. Press gently down and lift your heart, lift your chin and open your eyes. Namaste. Well done. Natarajasana. Quite a magnificent pose. Keep coming back to this and it will get easier and easier. Backbends are a wonderful way to open up the heart, to strengthen the upper back. And obviously all that standing on one leg is helping you with your balance. Do feel free to use the wall for as long as you need to, but then do challenge yourself and wean yourself off that sort of the crutch of the wall as soon as you can. Take a few risks, but be careful. Take care.